you fools? Matt, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel, and this is the ESC United expert panel where we discuss the songs that are in the running for, or were in the running for the Eurovision Song Contest 2020, 41 of them. We share our thoughts and, of course, our scores, but more on that in just a moment. First up, here is the team talking about this. We got Connor, we got James, and Sean, and the four of us will discuss Czech Republic. I don't know why we call it still Czech Republic in Eurovision. Isn't it Czechia by now? Anyway, I digress. So they had their very unique national online final, if you want to call it, just like they've done in the past few years. And ultimately, the winner was Cristo. The name of the song, Kemama. Next up, our thoughts. So, Connor, the floor is yours. What do you think of the song? I'd love to hear it.
Boy, the song of many revamps. I absolutely love the fact that this received not one, not two, but I believe 3 different revamps because they were just like, there's something wrong with every version. So I at least appreciate the fact that the Czech team and Benny overall were receptive to the criticisms and feedback of the fans and on YouTube. I do really like this song. I think the overall end revamp really created a more positive song because the original synth track was just really repetitive and got really boring really fast. But then they added in the Africana pop kind of sound to it. I think it gave it a little bit more of depth, I guess is what I would say. I don't know. There's something about this song, and I think that it might just be his overall delivery. Because when you watch the Ukraine national final when he performed, he basically sounds exactly the same live on this track than he does in the studio. So this is a really good entry. I think if they had actually done their national final live, this may have not won. I think this would have been a top 2, top 3 choice. There could have been some better entries that were left behind. But this is another outstanding Czech entry. I think this would have been a great result for them overall in the contest. Surefire qualifier right here.
Okay, very interesting. And I basically can only echo what you said, so I totally agree. I was going to talk about the whole revamp thing as well, but you said it all. The last one was definitely the best one. And it's great that they actually listen to the people, the fans and the professionals, make some changes. And Benny was very much into the Eurovision experience. So that is always just I hope, that he'll make Czech proud and won at some point at Eurovision. I do feel that people sleep a little bit on Czech Republic, actually. I don't think it necessarily gets a whole lot of hype, but I think that this would have done a whole lot better than people would thought or anticipated. It has a lot going for it. It's a fun song. It has a unique style character that would stand out and has so much live potential and staging potential. And this is coming from someone who isn't tremendously into the song, right? But I can look past my own personal bias at least a little bit to a certain extent and see, this would have probably worked for a lot of people. And I can see the jury's really appreciating the style as well. I had a few issues with it as well. Melodically, I was hoping for a little bit more, especially with the chorus, because sometimes when you listen to it, you don't even know, he's already doing the chorus. The transition from verses to chorus were not noticeable enough for me, and it kind of just became a little flat at some point. Which is, not great, but it could be worse, I guess. I enjoy it when it's on. It's somewhere in between when you look at the playlist. It's based on my replay value. It's just somewhere in between, but it's a solid song, and I think Czech Republic would have done pretty well with that one. At least that's what I'm thinking. How about you, James?
I agree as well, and also want to touch back about what a positive person Benny Cristo is, and he not only did the 3 revamps listening to fans, he also online walked you through how he did the revamp, took you on that sort of song crafting course in Nairobi that he did. Kind of came off like a Rocky IV training montage almost, kind of cool. But at the end of the day right now, I think it could do with just a bit more energy to sort of match the high energy positive performer that Benny Cristo is. I agree with you that the transition from verse to chorus is just it doesn't ramp up. It needs to kind of ramp up some more, and it doesn't. It's a fine entry, and yeah, this is another one of those songs for me that I wish we could have seen a live performance or live version of it out at the event itself, because I'm sure it would have been improved from the Ukraine live performance. But it's a pity we won't see it live, because I'm sure it would go up in my estimation after seeing what it could do with it live.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, James. Sean, your thoughts?
Yeah. I think, Matt, like you say, I think people were sleeping on this song a little bit at the start, and it was when he performed it in Ukraine.
Yeah.
It came to life, and that was when I was thinking, oh, okay, might have a dark horse here. I don't know whether the juries would have gone for it, maybe as much as the televoters, which seems to be the issue with the Czech Republic, is that they tend to either go down one route or the other. Yeah, it could have been wrong. It could have been the other way around. But I'm only aware personally of one revamp, so I don't know what's changed after the first one that everyone had the sort of commotion over. I think it did confuse the song a little bit, but I don't know whether it's just because you're used to the previous version. So I've gotten used to the Afrikaner sound in it now. I think it is a useful addition. But yeah, he's a great performer. He really sells the song live, and I could just see this one. It would have gone off in Rotterdam with a live audience. I've said it before. There's certain songs that in studio they don't really work, or they're not as impressive as they could be, but they work at Eurovision. They come to life when there's an audience to feed off of with the energy. So I think this is one of those songs, and it's another high quality entry from the Czech Republic. The things that they're doing, their national final this year was incredible. The songs that were there, this wasn't the best one. So I could definitely see them winning the contest in the next few years if they keep up what they're doing. But yeah, I think this would have done really well in Rotterdam, so it's a shame we won't get to see it.
I know. The rebirth of Czech Republic at the contest was a wonderful thing to witness. Looks like we're almost kind of on the same page here based on our comments, but will our points reflect that as well? Let's find out. We gave our scores. 10 to being the best, 1 being like a horrible song, and let's see where it ends up. Connor, you go first. What was your score?
So let me preface my score by saying I did boost this song a little bit because of the fact that I have a tendency to score the Czech Republic slightly lower and then fall in love with the song once we get to Eurovision. It's a weird relationship I have with Czech Republic. So I gave the song a 9. Because originally what I was going to give it is I was going to give it a little lower at like a 7.5. But I think that listening to the Africana pop version of it more and more, this song stands out in the listing of 41 songs. 1, because it's a different style, and 2, it's a more upbeat song, and number 3, I think that Benny in the live version would have brought the song to life. And I think that I would have liked the live version better than I did the studio. So I went ahead and kind of gave it a little bit of a boost. Great song, love it. Can't wait to see what Benny does, in the future.
Yeah, we shall see. You make me look bad because I thought I was nice because I gave it, because I like the song. It's not high up on my list, so I have to take that into consideration. But looking at all the good stuff, I do think it deserves some credit. My personal score here is 6.5, which is definitely above average, so that's why I wanted to at least say that. So 6.5 from me. James, what's your score?
6.5.
Okay.
So my comment on that is ditto.
All right. So okay, I don't feel too bad. Sean, what's your score?
I gave this a 7, so slightly better than your scores. I did get used to the revamp, but I think I would have scored it maybe 7.5 or 8 if it had just been left as it was in the first instance, because I think it was minimalistic, but I think it worked with the song. And again, I think it was also boosted by seeing it live. You know the energy's there. Like I say, it's there's a lot of elements that I like to it, but there are other elements I don't like. So I think a 7's probably fair on that one.
All right, there you have it. 7 from Sean. So now it's time to combine our first scores with the rest of Team ESC United and see where the Czech Republic ends up in our ranking. So the average score for Czech Republic is 6.4 6.45 for Czech Republic. James, what are your thoughts?
That was a roundabout where I expected it to be. Apart from Connor, I've not seen anyone else be totally glowing about it, but I've not seen too many people being very angry about it either. So I expected it to be sort of in the higher end of the middle of the pack. And because it's very close to my score, of course. So happy where it is.
Yeah, as you said just a couple of minutes ago, James, what I'm saying is ditto. So because I had the same score, and your thoughts are exactly what I was going to say. So final thought from you, Connor, since you were like, on the higher end, disappointed or about right?
About right. Again, this is what I expected it would be at. I'm at least happy that it is where it is, because I think that the Eurovision, not necessarily fans, but like the Eurovision contest as a whole has a tendency to sleep on like African-based songs. Like you think about Haba Haba and France 2010 and how they kind of don't really fare too well at Eurovision. I'm at least glad that this one's kind of more in that middle range of songs where it's still in contention to do well in our voting sequence. But it's not like, I don't understand this, so I'm going to give it a 2 kind of a song. So I'm glad that he's in contention, at least, here with us.
Yeah. The question is, so what does contention mean? Is he really high up or low down or somewhere in the middle? Here is the current scoreboard of the songs that we have reviewed so far. Take a look and you'll see where Czech Republic falls. More entries to come, so make sure to subscribe to our channel and you'll be notified when the next video is up. And this is your opportunity to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with Connor with like the 9 pointers, or you're more in line with our scores, the rest of the team here, like 6.5, 7-ish, or 6, between 6 and 7, I guess, seems to be like the magic number here. I would love to hear from you. All right, we got to move on to the next video, so I'll talk to you later. Bye.